this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome to the final map to be played before we go to a new set of vetoes. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Expedition Lost. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Protoss challenger to the throne that is the hot seat. He plays for Imaginary Gaming and has taken a semi-final spot at WCS. And he's doing a pretty darn good job here as well. It's Welmu. His opponent. Well, he's won in Week 5 against Protoss. He won in Week 6, Week 7, Week 8, and Week 9. And he's looking to make it 6 in a row and keep his maximum bounty going at $375 week in and week out. He plays for TeamLiquid.net. He's the red Terran in the top right-hand corner. He is, of course... Bunny. Now, guys, notice how this refinery is going up before a barracks. So this is a little bit of change of pace coming out of here from Bunny here in game number 7. Very, very interested to see what ends up happening off the back of this. He's going to be more aggressive, of course, going for this gas first, by the way. Means that Bunny is going to already have 100 gas in the bank. By the time he gets the barracks complete. So it means he'll be able to tech up literally as fast as possible. And we'll see how it goes. It means he can go into very, very quick medevac production. Really, really speedy Widow Mine drops, for example. He might go into, or goodness knows, I mean, it's not exactly a TVZ, but Banshees might also be a possibility. This probe is harassing as well. And I think Welmu's seen the amount of gas mined from here too. So we'll be able to spot, well, the probe's still in the base anyway. We'll be able to spot that the factory is going down any second now. And the SCV chases it out, hoping that the probe doesn't come back in, but it is going to come back in, and we'll be able to immediately spot, boom, there's the factory. So instantly, Welmu knows, okay, I am not going up against any sort of Reaper play. My opponent is not spending his gas early on, having to deal with this. Great news for me. What else is going on here? Well, Cybernetics Core in a fairly standard, once again, position to deny Reapers. I mean, look at this. The amount of cliff face this actually covers to allow the Reaper not to get in. Really, really intelligent building placement there from Welmu, and he immediately goes down and plants a Nexus on the low ground, not even waiting. And the reason he's not even waiting is because he knows a Reaper isn't going to be incoming. So already a good bit of scouting there. We have the reactor going down on the barracks after the factory complete, and we have Widow Mines in production now. Note that there is still no hint of a starport, and we've only got one worker on the refinery right now for Bunny. So he is going to be focusing on making sure he gets that command center down. There we go, on the low ground. And now I suspect he's going to be increasing the number of workers once again on this refinery so we can get a starport and additional barracks, possibly one with a tech lab, down reasonably soon. But this is a build that we haven't seen Bunny yet use in the hot seat. Ooh, a little bit supply blocked there, but it looks like this depot should be able to fix those problems. So supply block for about 10 in-game seconds there. A little bit frustrating, but not the world's massive bump. Now, Welmu's not exactly trying to hide this by putting it on the right-hand side of his base, but then again, just going for the robotics facility is also just really safe, really solid, and there isn't too much to read into it other than he just wants to get into a comfortable mid-game. So I'm not terribly concerned that he's not trying to conceal that. What I am concerned about, though, is this Widow Mine that snuck its way in here and burrowed over there. I think Welmu sees this. I want to say he sees this. I mean, these three mineral patches are going to be in danger as soon as any probe pops out. So we'll just keep an eye on that. I mean, the robotics facility was first to go down, though. We do have another gateway off the back of this, so we immediately have an observer coming in. No additional probes being built out of this yet. Interesting. And we'll try our best to keep an eye on that. No, he's actually... is he sacrificing? No, he tried to send a probe out, and now he realizes the Widow Mine is there. I actually thought he had seen that before, because you can see the little patch on the ground, but if he didn't see it before, he certainly sees it now. And Welmu will be able to take that out. So, for the cost of a single probe, maybe not the greatest trade in the world, but it has delayed the scouting. To an extent, it has revealed that an observer was on the field quite early, so if Bunny was paying attention there, he would have been able to see the tech. That's pretty good. And what else is going on inside the main base? Well, additional barracks are being built back here in Terranville. And we have another double Widow Mine drop coming in, and this could potentially spell trouble for Welmu. He needs to be able to spot these a little bit more in advance. Number of workers killed, just the one this game so far. And no catastrophic levels of damage done just yet. And will this observer spot this medevac? No, no. 2 passing ships in the night and all that. There's the medevac, and it's gone. All right. Ooh, 3. Wow, 3 Widow Mines can actually do quite a lot of damage, guys. Painesville, population, Welmu. Let's see if that actually ends up happening. We're moving out across the map. There are so many stalkers here. I actually think this could end up being a dud. He's bursting in, and oh my god. Absolutely not. 1 goes down. 2 go down. A last one. Well, it's going to get a decent number of probes. How many? No, 3. You know what? 3 workers for 3 Widow Mines. I'm not that pleased with, actually, from Bunny's point of view. Because there goes all of his ability to harass for the next minute or 2 of the game. And, well, this little guy's obviously been left behind. He's not very happy about that either. I suspect he's going to burrow in the middle of the map somewhere. Maybe somewhere like, oh, I don't know. Here might be a good idea. So that as stalkers move up the ramp, for example, he can actually spot them. But it looks like he's actually just moving them back right now. So this medevac is going to get repaired. I guess Billy the Widow Mine. No, he's not actually. No, he is going to be loaded up. He's having a bit of an identity crisis, guys. We're trying to decide whether he is, in fact, one of those Reapers or not. And Observer is actually going to be able to spot exactly what's going on and sees, actually, what's loaded up into the medevac as well. So that's pretty useful. Welmu putting observers all over the shop right now. And we can see these stalkers trying to intercept this. Oh, they might actually intercept this medevac. Oh, he sees it. Blink, blink. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need to blink. Very, very nice interception. And Welmu responding there excellently, picking off that medevac. Unfortunately, this SCV, wow, we have got a lot of identity crisis issues. Thinks he's a Marine. Tries to pick off this ice as a debris, but will be able to send back to the natural expansion. Great pick off there from Welmu. And it means he basically hasn't been harassed in the last couple of minutes. Sure, the initial Widow Mine drops were annoying, but those trades were okay for Welmu. It was basically 1 mine per probe. He's now in a position where he's 46 workers versus 51. Not the greatest position to be in, but his army's okay. He's got his first Colossus out on the field now. He might be able to take this number of Marines, although Combat Shield did just finish and Stim is on its way as well. So maybe after Stim finishes, he has to be really careful. But I don't think Welmu's in that bad a position at all. In fact, I think he's doing all right. Extended Thermal Lance is on its way. Blink is about to be done. +1 armor is about to be done. So in about a minute's time in-game, I feel like Welmu's going to be in a reasonably solid position. Now, is he going to use that to try and go and take a third and defend that position? Or is he going to be aggressive out on the map and see if he can deny Bunny's own third, which is building on the low ground? Very, very audacious here. On the right-hand side. And we can see this pro building a pylon there. Is it because he's seen it? It is because he's seen it. So I think Welmu is just going to be going on a massive attack. The army supply is 50 to 66, but I don't see any signs, by the way, of a third Nexus coming down. I do see signs of a lot of gateways being warped in. Ooh, I also see signs of a supply block. So apologies for that. But hopefully he'll sort that out soon. Stalkers blinking forward, clearing the way for the third base. Making Bunny a little bit confused as to whether or not his opponent's taking a third or not. But he did see a lot of Stalkers there. Maybe that's a clue. Just being able to see the army. And we actually already are going into Viking production. Wow. Okay, double starport Viking production. He's being very, very serious here. 4 at a time to try and repel this attack. We've got a quad drop going in off the left-hand side. This is huge. If there's a warp-in of Stalkers here right now, I don't even think that would matter. With 4 medevacs work, they're boosting in. Bunny's going for the counter-attack. We see the third already lifting off, actually. Bunny's only going to be defending it as naturally. He's counting on this drop to do a ridiculous amount of damage. Time warps go down instantaneously. There's a Colossus. A lot of Stalkers out in the main base. The cannon goes down, actually. Static D just doing really, really well here. And it looks like this drop is not going to be able to pick off the Nexus at all. That gets cleaned up, and here comes the main attack. Well, neither side has really lost too much at the moment. Stalker's blinking forward to try and stop the Vikings from picking off the Colossi. Still double of starport production. Still 4 Vikings at a time coming out here for Liquid Bunny, but he no longer has a third base to speak of, and the attack is changing to the natural expansion. That bunker goes down straight away. Welmu looking to be very, very aggressive right now. Bunny is going to have to change and basically defend in 2 locations at once. There's a fresh warp in of Stalkers coming in as well from Welmu. He is now 100% attack. Knows that the quad drop has failed. He's picked off those units, so these medevacs aren't even full of units. They're just empty. They're providing healing, but there are no more units inside of them, and the army supply is 64 to 67. Both sides have 1 upgrade each. This is actually a really, really close fight right now. There's a decent number of Vikings, a lot of DPS, and here come the reinforcements. That's what's going to make this a close fight, but I think the reinforcements are just going to be enough to push him back. Now, Welmu still has a Colossus down here. It is not over yet. Both sides are going to have to reinforce as fast as possible. If Bunny's reinforcements get in and Welmu's don't, it just looks like Bunny wins the engagement. But if Welmu sneaks in with another Colossus and another round of Stalkers, all of a sudden he just beats Bunny. So it's a very volatile situation right now. I'm not sure fighting up the ramp without the support of the Colossus is going to be any good. The Vikings land, and the Stalkers are trying to pick it off. The Mothership Core does go down. The Colossus is still there. Is there another one moving out across the map? No, that's a pylon. So I think Welmu is getting increasingly frustrated with this position, but I'm not certain he can straight up win from here. I honestly think he just needs to make more Colossi and come back in a minute or two, because I think this is defensible. He's moving in just with the Stalkers right now. He's trying to provoke a stim. Maybe he can win straight from this. Maybe. But with the medevacs here, I honestly feel like it's tough. Look, there's 4 medevacs here. I actually think this is okay. If it's the Stalkers alone, I don't think Welmu can make this work. He needs more Colossi with this. He's only got the 1. Actually, Zealots are going to help a lot, so maybe he's going to use that instead of waiting for more Colossi to move out here. Still continuing to put Bunny under a lot of pressure. Bunny still has a chance to defend this. More and more units coming out. The medevacs are providing an excellent amount of healing right now, and he is correctly making more of them because he hasn't seen the Colossus in quite a while. Still just the 1, and he knows that there's an awful lot of Vikings lying in wait in the back. And now Bunny's going, hang on a second, I know exactly what's going on here now. You're only poking forward with the Stalkers. I'm going to pick off a couple more of them. Here come the Colossi, but the Vikings are here as well. Excellent first volley. And Welmu has to be very, very careful. He's up 129 to 115 supply. Definitely advantage Protoss, but like I said, with the medevacs here, I think Bunny just about has a defensible position. And behind this, Welmu finally goes, okay, I'm going to take a third. I'm going to slowly increase power. I'm going to try and get more ahead. I do feel like Welmu could have done this a minute ago, though. I really, really do. And now Bunny is going to break out. I mean, his 3rd command center hasn't quite gone to waste. He's still producing mules from it. He's still able to produce SCVs from it. The total number of workers, though, for Bunny now is 35. He had to use all of his income just then to do nothing but build Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs to survive that onslaught from Welmu. Welmu, as a result, is up economically. He's got 48 probes versus 33 SCVs as these Stalkers once again poke and prod and try to do a little bit more economic damage. Welmu now, 3/4 of the way through, planting down his own Nexus, has just been doing an excellent job this game, but needs to not lose too many of those Stalkers out in the middle of the map. 4 Colossi now out on the field for Welmu. He's once again replenished that, but there are a decent number of Vikings here, though. 8 Vikings for 4 Colossi is a reasonable number. These Stalkers are going to see if they can pick a couple off. I'd love if the air units just happen to lag behind the bio a little bit and the Stalkers get 1 or 2. That would be ideal prior to the start of an engagement. But, the Nexus. I do feel like this has to be defended. The momentum in this game could swing in Bunny's favor if he's not careful here. Welmu does need to move out. No, if he stims in, kills the Nexus and stims out, then I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, I don't like this at all. The army needs to be together. Where are the Colossi? The Colossi are nowhere to be found. The Nexus falls down for free. How is Welmu going to respond? He has to respond to this. He has to try and respond to this. Alright, good concave to begin with. And actually, a couple of Vikings going down. Excellent force fields as well. Is he going to get a 3rd Viking? Not quite there. But I think this means Bunny might be able to run away. And look, Welmu has to trap this army. He's lost his 3rd Nexus. Oh, an excellent start to the engagement. And actually, these Stalkers are between the Vikings and the Colossi. That's technically a dream position for him to be in. Welmu is actually having a very, very good engagement right now. The Vikings are gone. They're gone. There's still 4 Colossi on the field. That's going to be a GG, ladies and gentlemen. And Welmu breaks the deadlock. He is going to be able to take it 4-3. If this was a best of 7, of course, but it is a best of 9, which puts Welmu on game point to dethrone Bunny 4-3 up in the hot seat best of 9.